part 2 of my recap on I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world. In the previous episode, we met Yuya, a boy that's been bullied his whole life, but when he sees a girl being harassed, he tries to step in and ends up getting beat up. He finds a hidden room in his house, which contains a mysterious door that leads to another world. He finds a strange house that was owned by a sage, and he finds a number of legendary weapons. After taking out a monster that tried to attack his house, he levels up over 100 levels, and the next day, he finds that his body had completely changed. When he goes to start high school, everyone is shocked to see his new appearance. He is confronted by his siblings, who wonder how a loser like him changed so drastically, but the girl he saved suddenly appears, and she appears to be looking for him. He wonders who she is, and she reminds him how he saved her, and Yuya wonders how she knows his name. She admits she looked into him because she wanted to thank him, and she introduces herself as Kawari. She wonders if he would like to join the Osei Academy, and Yuya recognizes it as an academy for the super elite. We learn that Kawari is on the student council, and her father is the chairman of the academy. Yuya is flattered by the offer, but thinks he isn't smart enough to join such an academy. His brother interrupts, asking to join the academy, and saying that they are superior to Yuya in both academics and sports. But Kawari refuses, because they are insulting Yuya when he is her hero, and she reveals that she has already looked into them and knows all about their nefarious behavior against Yuya. She goes on to tell Yuya that their academy emphasizes personality rather than just academics, so it would be no problem for him to enroll. Her attendant suggests showing him the academy, so she pulls him away, and they head off, while his siblings can't believe what happened. They arrive at the academy, and it's a famous school filled with students that excel. He meets with the chairman Tsukasa, who thanks him for saving his daughter. Yuya says it wasn't a big deal, but Kawari says he was the only one that helped her. Tsukasa invites him to join the school, even offering to pay his tuition as thanks for helping his daughter. But Yuya is hesitant, thinking he won't fit in, because only geniuses are normally accepted. Tsukasa says that geniuses are just normal people that have found the right way to work hard and use less time, but Yuya thinks they are gifted with talent. Tsukasa tells him that everyone has their own talents, and through challenges and having fun, he will eventually learn what his talents are, saying that he is still young. He suggests Yuya to try out the school for a day. A teacher named Sawada enters, and Tsukasa introduces her as a renowned scientist, but her classes are popular and easy to understand. Yuya prepares for his first class, and worries he isn't over his head, but he thinks that things couldn't be worse than at his normal school. He gets called in, and he introduces himself, but all the students appear stunned. He worries about what they think of him, but they are all actually stunned by how handsome he looks. He takes a seat at the back, and he shares a book with the girl next to him, but she is a bit cold toward him, and he worries that she already hates him. Kawari wonders if Yuya will fit in his class, and as the class goes on, he actually finds the class pretty normal, except the students are much more active and engaged. During their break, a bunch of students try to get to know him, asking questions like if he is an idol, and if he has a girlfriend. A student named Ryo stops them from harassing him, and he takes Yuya to the cafeteria to get some lunch. Yuya is amazed seeing the menu, and it's all free, so Yuya thinks it's like a dream. They sit with another student named Shingdo. They start talking about anime, and Yuya is surprised they are just like him. As he eats, he notices that everyone is looking at him, and he thinks it's because he is wearing a different uniform. Shingo asks him if he is in any clubs, but Yuya says he is not a part of any. Ryo is also not in a club, but it's because he is good at all kinds of sport and has trouble picking just one. Shingo reveals he is part of the gaming club, and Yuya is surprised there are allowed consoles at school, but Shingo says it's fine as long as they don't play during class, and as they talk about video games, Yuya becomes more comfortable with them. At the end of the day, he meets with Tsukasa and admits that he had a good time. He was most impressed with how all the students seemed like they had fun, and they all treated him as an equal. Tsukasa asks if he would like to continue at the school, but Yuya is still hesitant. Tsukasa tells him that his worth can only be decided by himself, so he thinks about it, and Yuya decides he wants to join the school. As he leaves the room, he runs into Kawari, who wonders if he is joining the school. He tells her his decision, and she is glad he decided to stay. She invites him to join her after school, and they check out some shops in a popular area. Yuya wonders if this is where she hangs out with her friends, but she reveals that she doesn't hang out too often because people seem to be hesitant about her family and her father. But she says that he is different. Yuya gets nervous, so he suggests checking out the crepe shop. Looking at the prices, he is glad he has been cashing out from the other world. As they try the crepes, they both have a good time, and Yuya wants to try the other flavors, but he suddenly thinks that if he eats too much, he might return to his original shape. He asks Kawari how she recognized him when he looked so different, but she says that although he is a bit slimmer, she recognized him because his eyes still look the same. She offers him a bite of her crepe since he wanted to try other flavors, so he takes a bite, but is a bit embarrassed. She suddenly realizes how he is feeling, but he also offers her a bite. She nervously accepts it, taking a bite, and some girls watch on, thinking they are super cute together. Later that night, Yuya decides to head back to the other world, putting on a full set of armor. He heads inside, confronting the monsters that appear. Even though he is still scared, he cuts them down, and sees he has leveled up to 235, but realizes that the speed he is leveling it has become much slower. So he thinks about leaving his house to find stronger monsters to fight. Thinking of his time at the academy, Yuya wants to find a new challenge, but as he heads out his gate, he suddenly hears a scream. He pulls out his spear and rushes toward the scream. He finds a number of soldiers that were brutally killed. He notices a monster, and it's a level 200 goblin general. Yuya can tell it is dangerous, but he sees a girl behind it. He throws his spear at it, but the goblin deflects it. However, in that moment, Yuya comes crashing down with his foot, and the goblin is defeated. He turns toward the girl, but she calls out to him because there is another goblin behind him. He gets blown away, and he can tell that it is both stronger and faster than him. But Yuya doesn't give up, thinking he has other strengths. He uses his spear to vault over the goblin, and he switches to his bow, launching a barrage of arrows. He then switches again to his sword, and splits the goblin in half. He checks up on the girl, wondering about the other humans in this world, but she ends up fainting, and he hears some men approaching, so he uses an invisibility skill to avoid them. There are knights that come looking for the girl, and we learn she is a princess named Lexia. But that's where this video ends. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.